is Algebra 1, Lesson 63. We're going to talk about the product of the square root rule and repeating decimals. And we're starting on page 257. The square roots of many numbers can be simplified. The square root of m times the square root of n equals the square root of m times n. And we can do that backwards. So the square root of m times n equals the square root of m times the square root of n. The square root of 2 times 5 is the same as the square root of 2 times the square root of 5 times the square root of 5. The square root of 3 times 5 is the same as the square root of 3 times the square root of 3 times the square root of 5 times the square root of 5. The point of these is these are all prime numbers. Okay? So we're going to simplify the square root of 50. And we're going to start by writing 50 as the product of prime numbers. So we have 50, and 50 times 2 is 25. 25 is 5 times 5. So here are your prime numbers. So the square root of 50 equals the square root of 2 times the square root of 5 times the square root of 5. Now the square root of 5 times the square root of 5 is just 5. So the square root of 50 equals 5 times the square root of 2. And that would be the simplified form. Let's do the same thing with the square root of 200. So we take 200 and we find the prime numbers. It's 2 times 100, which is 2 times 50, which is 2 times 25, which is 5 times 5. So we have 2, 2, 2, 5, and 5. So this equals the square root of 2 times the square root of 2 times the square root of 2 times the square root of 5 times the square root of 5. So now we have 2 square roots of 2 and 2 square roots of 5. So we have the square root of 2 times 2 times 5. 2 times 5 is 10. So the square root of 200 equals 10 times the square root of 2. And that's the simplified form. Let's try the square root of 147. 147 divided by 3 is 49. 49 divided by 7 is 7. So here are our 3 square roots, or 3 prime numbers rather. So this is going to equal the square root of 3 times the square root of 7 times the square root of 7. The square root of 7 times the square root of 7 equals 7. So this is 7 times the square root of 3. Now we have simplify 108. So we find all the prime roots of 108. It's 2 times 54, which is 2 times 27, which is 3 times 9, which is 3 times 3. So we have 2 2s and 3 3s. So these two square roots of 2 are going to come out to 2. These 2 square roots of 3 are going to come out to 3. And we're going to leave the square root of 3 there. So we have 6 and the square root of 3. And that's going to be your answer. Now we're going to talk about some common repeating decimals. A couple of chapters ago we said that numbers whose decimal equivalents were infinitely long and non-repeating were irrational numbers. Remember that? Numbers whose decimal equivalents are infinitely long but repeat in patterns are real numbers. So these four are very common repeating decimals. If you take 1 divided by 3, you get 0.33333333333, etc., etc. A lot of times we just write that as 0.3 with a line on the top that shows that it repeats. 2/3 is 0.666666666 ... Or we can just say 0.6 with a line over the top. 0.9 is 0.11111111111. Or we can say 0.1 with a line on the top. And 1/6 is 0.166666666 ... So we can say 0.16 with a line over the 6. So these are common repeating decimals. Because they repeat, we can put them over a fraction. So these are actually considered rational numbers. Even though they repeat infinitely, they're repeating in a pattern. So we consider these rational numbers, and these are good ones to be able to just pick out of the crowd. Okay? And that's it for this lesson. Try your practice problems and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks! Bye!